It's happening! NATO finally testing 6th generation fighter jet. NATO currently has 3 main programs working on 6th generation aircraft. The United States initiative is known as Next Generation Air Dominance, while the United Kingdom is developing the Tempest, and the French, German, and Spanish governments are planning the Future Combat Air System, or FCAS. New drones, missiles, sensors, and command and control architectures are all part of these broader efforts to create the ultimate 6th generation fighter jet. In this video, we'll discuss the 6th generation fighter jet that NATO allies are developing. Stay with us till the end of the video to know about its development, the technology, and when it will perform its test flight. To put it simply, a 6th generation fighter is a concept class of jet fighter aircraft design that would be technologically superior to the 5th generation jet fighters now in service and development. The United States, Japan, Russia, the United Kingdom, France, and China are just some of the countries that have committed to creating a 6th generation aircraft program. When the 2030s roll around, that's when the first 6th generation aircraft will hit the skies. The top NATO general in Europe has stressed the importance of coordination among alliance members beginning 6th generation military aircraft. U.S. Air Force General Todd Walters, speaking at an Atlantic Council event, emphasized the importance of member nations sharing information about the resources required to see their own programs through to completion. The goal of strategic transparency and alignment was emphasized as countries, particularly the United States and Europe, pursue cutting-edge aircraft weaponry for the future. As much as the 6th generation fighters are hyped in the media nowadays, very little is known about them by the public. Here are some highlighted features of 6th generation fighter jets. Optional manning. With optional manning, the aircraft would be able to complete missions in heavily contested airspace without the pilots having to worry about losing their lives. Even for stealth planes, missions like the suppression of enemy air defenses (SEAD) and attacks on high-value surface targets come with a significant amount of danger because low observability is never completely achieved. Stealth operation with a broad spectrum. 6th generation fighters, in contrast to 5th generation fighters, which are only invisible to radars that use centimetric wave technology, would be undetectable even to radars that use metric and decimetric wave technology, such as Russia's Nebo-M. Engines of the next generation. In the next generation of turbine-based power plants, there will be an increased capacity for the creation of electrical power, which will be used to power avionics, accessories, communication systems, directed energy weapons, and actuation systems, among other things. Weapons that use directed energy. The seeker of air defense or air-to-air missiles will be rendered useless by the next generation of fighters' incorporation of strong lasers. It's possible that they possess sufficient power to successfully attack vulnerable ground targets. System for the unification of electronic warfare. A piece of technology known as a Unified Electronic Warfare System, UEWS, will be used for radar, electronic warfare, data transmission, and communications. Additionally, it will operate as a navigation system in addition to an IFF transponder. The 6th generation fighter projects of different countries are going forward at different paces. The United States' Next Generation Air Dominance, or NGAD program, seems to be the fastest developing one among the NATO countries. There are no known public foreign partners for the NGAD initiative. In contrast, Britain has teamed up with countries like Sweden and Italy as part of the Tempest program. According to Eurasian Times prior reporting, it is still in discussions with Japan to combine its FX 6th generation fighter program with the Tempest. NGAD started out as a DARPA initiative. Roughly $4.2 billion have been allocated by Congress for NGAD since 2015. The Air Force's budget for NGAD research and development is estimated at $1.65 billion in the fiscal year 2022, rising to $3.5 billion annually by the fiscal year 2027, according to a CRS analysis. The Air Force has asked for $1.66 billion in funding for NGAD in fiscal year 2023 and expects to spend an additional $11.7 billion between 2024 and 2027, as stated in the report. When compared to the amount appropriated between 2015 and 2022, this would be a 300% increase. Since the specifics of the NGAD aircraft, its configuration, size, weapon systems, crewed or uncrewed status, and other things are still up in the air, estimating its unit costs is a bit of a guessing game. The Air Force has suggested it is more useful to think of these planes as portfolio or family of systems. At the House Armed Services Committee hearing on the Air Force's posture for fiscal year 2022, Secretary Kendall moderated expectations by saying that each NGAD plane would cost multiple hundreds of millions of dollars. While one stated goal of the NGAD program is to replace the F-22 fighter jet, the aircraft that emerge out of the NGAD program may or may not appear like a typical fighter. To ensure superiority in the skies, the Air Force is investing in next-generation air defense technology development. The initiative aims in part to find new ways to attain this mission beyond the methods used by the conventional U.S. military in pursuit of air superiority. The next-generation air defense could be a single aircraft or a collection of systems, manned, unmanned, optionally manned, cyber, or electronic, designed to work together. So while it is expected that the NGAD will produce a jet capable of replacing the F-22, that doesn't mean it will engage in physical dogfights in which the pilot tries to outmaneuver the enemy. The portfolio approach also eliminates the need for all relevant sensors and weaponry to be installed on the same plane. While still classified, the Air Force has been releasing limited data about NGAD, which it defines as a family of systems that will work together to win air superiority in combat, as reported by Air Force Magazine in April 2022. One crewed aircraft and an unknown number of uncrewed aircraft will make up the NGAD family. Other technologies, such as optionally crewed platforms, missiles, pods, and off-board capabilities, some of which may operate from space, will also be a part of the NGAD family, so that next-generation air defense can breach enemy defenses and place any target in the battle space in danger. Some flying escorts will be equipped with sensors or additional weapons, while others will provide electronic or ground assault capabilities. On June 1, 2022, Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall stated that the NGAD program could go to the engineering, manufacturing, and design phase of development since the underlying technologies have reached an acceptable level of maturity. Kendall stated that we have now launched an engineering, manufacturing, and development program to develop the development airplane that will move into production. By the end of the decade, we anticipate that we will have achieved this goal. Kendall continued his discussion of this prototype by stating that what they had created was an experimental prototype. We basically had a program called the X-Plane, and its purpose was to lower the risk associated with some of the critical technologies that we would require for a production program. After finishing the design of the jet, the company is now moving on to the engineering, manufacturing, and development phase. United States next-generation air dominance, the British Tempest, and France, Germany, and Spain's future combat air system projects are all happening at full bloom, but no one is sure whose jet will make it to the skies first. Do you think the 6th-generation aircrafts will be in service with the NATO allies' respective militaries by 2030 as predicted? If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for everyday military updates. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below. Thanks for watching.